Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's a very happy Tuesday, very happy week this week for LMP Education. It is National Apprenticeship Week. So we're well underway with celebrating with our employers and our apprentices, which is great. We've done a webinar already. We've got some coming up later on in the week. So all exciting stuff, which is great. I'm just going to give it just until sort of 11:01, just to sort of get some, ensure everybody's able to join, log on their Zooms and everything, because I know sometimes what technology is like. And I'm joined by lovely Ashley. Thank you very much, Ashley, for coming on.
You're welcome.
It will hopefully give some lovely, insightful information to employers who are thinking about how to develop their future leaders and managers, and for anybody who is aspiring to be a leader or manager as well. I'll just give it 2 more minutes and then we will start the webinar. Some people now still joining, so we'll just give it some more time for other people to jump on. If anybody has any sort of questions or anything, please just pop them in. We've got a Q&A section or the chat. So whichever way you want to ask questions, we will come to that at the very end to answer hopefully any questions, or to hopefully have them answered before the end. I'll just give it 1 more minute. Still some people joining. Hello, everybody. Still some more people coming in now, which is great. Thank you for taking the time, everybody, to join the webinar. I hope you do find it really useful and insightful as well. Our numbers are really getting higher now, so that's good. Still some more coming in, which is great. Okay, so we're 1 minute past 11 on my clock, so we will just start the webinar. As I've said, it is being recorded, so if anybody does want to watch it back for their own reference, or if anybody obviously has missed the webinar, they can obviously look back on it as well. So as I said, so yeah, numbers are coming in really high now, just happy National Apprenticeship Week, everybody. Yeah, as I said, we're well underway with National Apprenticeship Week at LMP Education. It's Tuesday, it's our 2nd webinar of the week. We've got more webinars happening later on in the week, which hopefully you'll all find useful and insightful. Today's webinar is all about how to develop your leaders and managers through funded training and coaching apprenticeships. And I'm joined by the lovely Ashley Lyas from DPD, who is well underway with his team meeting apprenticeship, and hopefully will give some insightful feedback with how he's finding it and what benefits it's had to him as a future leader. So I'm just going to go to the next stage. Fabulous. So today's agenda, we're looking at why LMP education. So what do we do that's different from everybody else? We've got obviously Ashley's doing some insightful feedback for us about the benefits of his apprenticeship and what impact it's had on his role. And we will be looking at the 3 apprenticeship programmes that aid middle management development across organisations. So your team leading level 3, professional coaching level 5, which is a new apprenticeship that we are launching in March, and operations manager level 5 as well. We'll also be looking at succession planning, career opportunities, and no doubt Ashley will also sort of say what the power of what an apprenticeship is doing on his career pathway, which will be great to hear about. And we've got some exciting key updates as well for people with what's happening in the space as well. So why LMP education? So we have been delivering apprenticeships, we're delivering training for 22 years. So we are a well-established training provider. We work closely with employers and learners to tailor training to the needs of the organisations and to the learners, so both benefiting both in terms of their needs. We offer a wide variety of standards across different levels to suit different organisations, and they are all accredited with a certificate upon completion as well. With LMP, it's the team and the individuals will have a dedicated tutor with a very much a blended approach with a mixture of face-to-face and online. Your organisation might prefer group delivery. I know with DPD we've done a right mixture of one-to-one, remote and face-to-face and group, so which is great. And then not only do the learners have a dedicated tutor, but you as employers also have a dedicated account manager. So somebody like myself, I'm the senior partnership manager at LMP, and we do reviews with you just to kind of see how your organisation is going. We help plan the best strategy going forward for your business. We have tools in place for that just to help prioritise your training needs for your organisations and who you want to upskill and just prioritise within your organisations. And we obviously plan whether you are a levy organisation. I'm sure on this call there's big businesses and SMEs. We offer support for both different varying to basically enable you to maximise the power of these apprenticeships basically. Finally, everybody, the line manager and the learner both have access to an online e-portfolio system called Bud. So everything is recorded and the employer can have full oversight of the learner's apprenticeship as well, just to see how they're tracking on progress, to make sure that it is aligned with the role and the business needs as well. It's great to showcase some of LMP's accreditations and awards. I love talking about this. So 2024 to 2025, we were rated Best Training Provider by Rate My Apprenticeship, which is based on purely impartial feedback from employers and learners. So it was great to have that award. We have retained our good rating by Ofsted. We were Ofsteded only last year, so it is recent, which is great. And we have been awarded our gold standard accredited leaders in safeguarding and our platinum investors in people as well, which is great. So just some insightful sort of statistics here that you may find shocking and may want you sort of think about your business and how you kind of want to sort of plan and prioritise some of the training. So here it says that 94% of employees would stay at a company longer if they invested in progressing their careers. 74% of managers say they haven't received any management training in their current role. And 93% of our learners on sort of any one of our management courses have improved in their confidence to do their role more effectively. And 63% of middle managers reported never receiving any management training after a promotion. So, what this shows that it's great that businesses are sort of promoting within and, giving individuals and staff that great career pathway progression. However, what is the use if they don't have the tools and the knowledge and the skills equipped to do the role, not only to perform better in themselves as managers and leaders, but also to lead their team below them as well. It's ultimately going to improve the organisation's efficiency and productivity by investing in training. So a couple of bits here with what LMP Education do when we form partnerships with our businesses. So we just don't like to have that transactional approach. We like to form a great partnership with businesses, ensuring that our curriculum is inclusive and tailored to your needs as a company and to the individuals as well. We have done great things with DPD in terms of adapting resources, where we look at their online e-portfolio, make it kind of more familiar to them in terms of the branding of it, so it's familiar to the employers and learners. We do co-branded material for staff. And what is also great is if you as an organisation do your own kind of internal training, where you then promote people within, it is great to not only invest in staff to do that training that you do internally, but also to run alongside our team leading level 3 or our operations manager level 5 apprenticeship, because then they will be trained to your company's culture, but also have a qualification as well that they can take away with them for life and progress ultimately in their career. And we've done that with a few businesses now, which has proven really successful. So the main benefits of doing an apprenticeship. So we spoke about obviously upskilling and developing existing staff. So promoting within, really enhancing on, the specialist skills that people want to develop. It does improve staff retention and job satisfaction. If employees are feeling invested in, morale is obviously going to be high. It's going to have a lovely positive workplace culture in the sense that they're working with businesses that can obviously look to promote within and invest in their career progression. Strengthen leadership and succession planning. So, like I say, having to perform in your role as a leader, as a manager, it's going to really just make strong leadership, capable leadership, and help guide teams below them as well to ultimately make the organisation perform better, more efficient, more productive, and just that more clear pathway in terms of organisational values and goals that the organisation needs to achieve. And of course, these qualifications are funded via the levy. So large organisations that I'm sure are on this call, that you pay already into a pot of money, and that is to be used on apprenticeships to help upskill existing staff. We can support with that in terms of what you want to prioritise. The main thing is what do you know, what's in your pot, and then we can help sort of plan to ensure that you are maximising those funds without them being expired and essentially going back to HMRC, which we don't want. And then for non-levy organisations, it is funded by the government as well. So it's partially funded. It's 95% funded at the moment. There is just the 5% co-investment fee. If you can't afford that 5% co-investment fee, do not panic. We work with loads of large organisations and local authorities where we can see if we can levy gift that funding for you. So please reach out to myself or any one of our partnership managers at LMP Education, and they will help guide you and support you with how to make the most of these apprenticeship programmes to help your business grow. So, as I mentioned, these are the three programs that we're going to be looking into a little bit more now. So we've got your team leading level 3. These are for people, Ashley is doing this course currently at the moment, so it's for aspiring leaders. It is for people that are new to management, that obviously just want to gain more skills and more knowledge. So yeah, that would be the best program for them. I've just highlighted some typical kind of job roles at the bottom, so you as businesses or as individuals know kind of what apprenticeship would align and that's most suited to your role currently, so that you can evidence all that skills and the knowledge best suited to your role. We then have professional coaching. As I said, this is a new one that's launching in March. This is ideal for somebody who, it is a level 5, so it is a bit more senior. So it's for somebody who is, looking to coach and mentor people in the team, is a bit of a go-to, essentially to help them perform better, to help the team perform better in their roles, and, kind of an organisational ambassador is what I would say. That is really sort of wanting to help other people in the team perform like they do, basically. And then finally, your operations manager level 5. So these are for this particular apprenticeship is more strategic, so it is a bit more in depth. It's really for kind of your directors and really sort of senior staff members that look at the business as a whole, rather than just looking after one team. Your operations manager is looking after teams of people as a whole. So that just kind of gives you an idea as to which apprentices would suit different roles within your business. Okay, so we will be talking about, Ashley's probably going to kill me with that big massive screen of him on there. So this is where we're going to bring in Ashley now to talk about his experience whilst doing his team leading apprenticeship. And I just want to introduce him, and with some great feedback that his employer has said about him as well. So, they've said that he embodies the bridge between academic theory and operational excellence, which is wow. And throughout your level 3 team leading apprenticeship, you have transitioned from a supporting role to more of a strategic leader, which is fantastic, Ashley, already. So he's going to be talking about now some of those questions that some of you may have in the back of your minds in terms of, time, how do I fit this in with work? What support do I get from my employer, or what support do I need to give to my employees, and essentially what impact it's had on his role and career progression. So Ashley, I'm going to shine it on you. How do you feel your team leading apprenticeship has supported you so far in your role?
So for a start, LNP have been great. So had massive support from LNP, from the onboarding team all the way through to the tutors. So any questions that I've asked have been answered promptly to the level of detail that I get wanted as well. Sometimes with other training providers I've been with, it's just kind of a blanket response, but every time I get something from LNP, it feels personal and customized, just to make sure you're getting the right kind of answers that you're looking for, basically. That doesn't just fall within the actual sessions either. So if there's any questions you've got outside of the sessions, they're always available either by phone, by email. A few things I've had to email about outside of work hours and stuff, and they've been more than happy to help out. So LNP have been great, and also to go hand in hand with that, your employer also needs to give you the support. DPT have been great with it, so I think they understand that it's a great way of developing people. If they can develop their staff internally, it's a lot better for them, because we can then either help out with other people if they wanted to go on the qualifications, or just help develop them and push them in the right direction.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Ashley. And how have you sort of managed, your time with doing your off-the-job training and things like that? How have you sort of planned that in?
So I plan a few hours in a week for my off-the-job training, obviously alongside the sessions that we have. The sessions are brilliant. You get all the answers you want, get everything laid out for you. So if you have one in the next month or so, you put a little plan together with your tutor just to see exactly what's needed. I then go to my boss and just say, right, this is what I need to do. And they're more than accommodating for that. A lot of the stuff does go hand in hand with my role, because I'm a team leader at the moment. So it's kind of bringing them aspects into the qualification, and just living in the qualification effectively.
Oh, fantastic. And what impact do you think it's had on your role doing it? You know, now you're actually doing it. What kind of impact do you think it's had on your role?
So it's given me a lot of confidence in my ability. So just in with delivering things. So for example, delivering a project, speaking up with higher levels of management. So when I cover for my boss, I obviously get more exposure then to different areas of the business. So just being able to deliver and communicate with them effectively, and then that goes down to my team as well. So if I've got confidence in my ability, they tend to get confidence that what I'm saying is correct, what I'm helping them out with is correct. And it's helped me get the next step in my career. I'm started really. So since starting the apprenticeship, with my confidence and my knowledge growing, I'm now trusted with becoming my boss. So shadowing, that makes me look after a department of around 40 to 45 people. That obviously comes with a lot more responsibility, higher approval, and then again liaising with different areas of the business, and getting your name out there really and networking.
Brilliant, yeah, and that's great, isn't it, that you've got all that exposure now because you're developing, you know, yourself, you know, as a leader, and like you said, you've gained that confidence. That's brilliant, and you know, you're looking at different projects. What would you say, like, your most, because obviously you've been exposed to a lot of things now, and you know, learn different skills. What would you say that you're most proud of?
Um, I'd probably say the deliverance of the project that I've been doing alongside the apprenticeship, so as part of it. So I helped our IT team develop a new invoicing system effectively for duty and VAT that was a lot of manual work previously. Took about 6 months, but we got to it and it's saving about 200, 250 hours of work a year. So that's for my team, for one of my team, should I say. That obviously allows my team to give better customer service because they've got um, less to do with that area of it, and then also time to develop themselves. Because obviously, if they've got an extra 200 hours a year, when the query, if there's any queries that are done and they've got their own free time, then they're looking into how they can develop themselves, whether that's through courses within DPD itself, or I do have another person on my team doing an apprenticeship. So it just gives them the extra time to kind of see what they want to do and how they can progress their career as well.
Oh yeah, fantastic. No, that's great, isn't it? That you've, like you say, just great that you've been exposed to all of that.
Yeah.
You're learning different skills, you're learning, like you said, that project management,
Yeah.
you know, you're developing yourself within and essentially sort of like getting more like senior with that, isn't it? Which is great.
Yes.
Fab. I'm just obviously going to go on to a few other bits before we go on to other benefits that you found with the apprenticeship, Ashley. So just talk about the team leading level 3. As I said, this is for somebody, you know, who is new to leadership and new to management, aspiring leaders, or someone that is in management that actually hasn't got a qualification. So, you know, this is essentially, you know, like I say, designed to enhance your leadership capabilities, foster collaboration within teams, and different sort of stakeholders in the business, and to essentially just help drive team performance, not only for the staff member, but for also the team as well that they're looking after. What is actually great as well is within this qualification, they do receive a CMI level 3 award in principles, management and leadership. It is an award by the Charter Management Institute for that level 3 as well, which is great. So yeah, it just sort of outlines here the duration of the programme. All our programmes are blended within sort of online, a bit of face-to-face. Always sort of give the assessment method for this one, your funding value and the awarding body there. So essentially what they are learning within your level 3 is that they are looking at team performance as a whole, looking at data, benchmarking against performance and the organisational goals, looking at different people and stakeholder relationships, problem solving, all them kind of soft skills as well, like emotional intelligence, how to use those types of things. Resource management, managing change, and project management. So they're the main sort of modules that are included there. And as I said, within your team leading level 3, we always try and offer progression pathways as well. So it depends on really how much, what role that you kind of grow into. It might be a coaching role, which is obviously for more senior staff to coach other team members below them, or your role might actually progress to becoming an operations manager, so looking more at the business on a strategic level. So we always kind of like to look at different career progression pathways there. Ashley, what would, and I kind of touched on it a little bit in terms of benefits, but what would you say are the main benefits, do you think, to doing your apprenticeship programme?
Me, it's been gaining hands-on experience because you're doing your role alongside the apprenticeship experience, alongside the apprenticeship. You'll be working with people and talking with people who have the experience that you're looking to gain effectively. So I liaise a lot with my manager, and he's been through lots of different qualifications, and being able to bounce the ideas off of him and other people in the business. And because you're doing it within your work time, you've got lots of different people that you can get lots of different ideas from, like I said, bounce different ideas off them and just gain knowledge from them. It's obviously, the qualifications industry relevant as well, so it's massively valued by employers, because it's basically tailored to give you all the tools you need to succeed in that chosen career. So it's not you're just doing a course that fits anything. It's directly linked to what you're doing, so that's a massive benefit for yourself and the company, because as I said earlier, that can trigger career progression, and that, if it's from developing confidence in yourself and the role, then you've got that next step. Looks great on a CV, looks great on internal applications. Yeah, and then one that would benefit a lot of people as well is you're actually getting effectively paid to learn and develop yourself, which a lot of the time you obviously don't have to because it's done outside of working hours. People struggle with work-life balance, being able to get that done outside of work hours. But with this, with the help of the tutors, with the help of LMP, with the help of your company, then you can better yourself, like I said, whilst doing your job and getting paid for it. So I think that's a massive benefit.
That's it, isn't it? It's no-brainer, isn't it, Ashley?
Yeah.
Fabulous. And you spoke about your sort of career progression. So what's kind of your goal next? What are you sort of progressing on to? What have they sort of
so yeah, so with myself is continue to gain experience in my area, but in different areas, because I like to effectively add as many strings to my bow as possible. When I started in DPD, I started as a claims temp, and then I went through claims, went up to a team leader and developed a new claims system within claims, then took the step over to credit management and developed that through, and now I look after 2 teams in credit management. So it's looking to get as much experience, knowledge and exposure as you can, which this qualification does. Now I'm looking into project management side of things, where I've done the project alongside the apprenticeship. I've got exposure to that. I've spoken with IT development teams, I've spoken with project managers, I've spoken with different stakeholders within the business, and that gets your name out there. It grows your confidence. It shows people that you're good enough to progress. So yeah, it's giving me every tool I need to look at the next step. Like I said, I'm already covering for my manager when he's off, so that's great experience as well, because as I said, it can be for a department of up to 45 people, so it's a step up from my team, well, my 2 teams of 8, so it's a massive step up to that.
Oh, fantastic. That's great, Ashley. Thank you so much. So let's be moving on to the next slide. Okay. So yeah, Ashley's obviously mentioned a few of these benefits. I won't sort of go through them all, as Ashley's obviously sort of mentioned a few, how it's developed his confidence, stronger leader. You know, he's helped with team performance. You know, we've said it is sort of cost effective because, you know, you're kind of promoting within, it's utilising the levy, and, you know, they gain that recognised qualification as well, which is fab. Brilliant. So I am just going to stop sharing for the minute. I'm going to show you this video that we've worked with some of our employers as well. So just bear with me whilst I get this video up. It's just a 2-minute video, just to kind of give you a bit more of an insight as to how we work with employers and what else we do really. So let me just share. There we go. And I'll just play that.
Hi, I'm Freya. I'm a Learning and Development Manager for Bills.
And I am Emily. I'm also a Learning and Development Manager for Bills. So let's talk about Bills. So Bills started in 2001, in which we were a greengrocer. We were selling all our quiches, selling tomatoes, vegetables. Bill was actually growing them in his farms and then selling them. And it went really, really, really busy. Everyone was coming down to Lewis, everyone was enjoying it. So he actually ended up opening a cafe and then opened a second one in Brighton. Off the back of that, we had some funding from Richard Caring, who came in and bought the majority of the business. And then we ended up opening more and more restaurants.
So we looked at apprenticeships and funded training routes for our employees because we identified a need for a development program and something that was going to develop our future leaders. So we have partnered with LMP to do our Grow to Lead program. So by partnering the apprenticeship with our own tailored on-site and in-person sessions, we're able to create a development program that not only has a really good theoretical basis and foundation of knowledge and learning that they can then apply on the job, but also we're tailoring it so it really suits our employees and our culture at Bills. So we started by identifying a need for a development program for the future leaders of Bills. So we designed the Grow to Lead program with a whole lot of in-person sessions designed and tailored for our Bills employees. And then we partnered with LMP because they had their team leader apprenticeship program and the content really well matched, and they were amazing at being able to interlace our in-person Bills sessions into the apprenticeship. So they got the best of both worlds.
So our main benefits for using this apprenticeship in our organisation is that our team, one, are able to come out of their day-to-day. I think sometimes you get stuck in that day-to-day, and you're able to learn different things and bring that into the business and be able to really make some change and to really implement that learning as well. So I think that's a benefit. I think all these talented people we have on the apprenticeship, them being able to thrive and then being able to have the opportunity to learn and given the tools to do better and to develop, I think is going to be hugely beneficial. And essentially we're looking to build our future leaders that we want to keep within the business and potentially be our GMs, be our in the near future. So in all honesty, it's all very, very beneficial from a business point of view.
Fabulous. So I'm just going to stop and stop sharing. So that was just one of our employers who we work with currently to obviously help Bills restaurants to help develop their future leaders. And I'm hoping obviously with Ashley's insights to his feedback as a learner, and obviously with the insights of what you've just sort of seen there from Bills restaurants from both Emily and Freya, who were the learning and development leads for the business, it just kind of gives you that insight as to what we can do with the power of apprenticeships essentially, which is fab. So professional coaching. So this is our new qualification that we are launching in March. And with this one, it is basically helping any senior member of staff to basically be in that coaching and mentoring role for other members of the team, to essentially help them perform better, to help them become more efficient within their role and more effective and align with the company's goals with what we need to achieve. The great one about this, so with the team leading, Ashley will have obviously his CMI level 3 award, but with the professional coaching alongside this is the Institute of Leadership and Management level 5 certificate in effective coaching and mentoring as well, which is fantastic. So they will have that on top of their apprenticeship. It is a slightly shorter duration as well. Blended approach assessment method here, observation, questioning on that, and a knowledge test, and has got the funding value there as well. In terms of pathways, so with what they're learning here, it's very much learning about that effective coaching and mentoring, and kind of reviewing their coaching and reflecting on their practice in terms of how to improve it as well. And as I said, it's more about delivering sort of coaching aligned to that company's culture. Essentially, kind of, if someone is in a coaching role, they want them to perform as they have done in their role. So acting as that coaching ambassador, that go-to person to hopefully get the team members performing as the professional coaching person would be in their role as well. If the role obviously develops into more of a strategic senior level, then obviously operations manager level 5 is a great one to progress onto as well. And with Bill's Restaurants, as I said, they did team leading and operations manager 5. And what is great is, I don't know if you heard in the video, is if anybody has got their own internal programs, where they are progressing in their company, what is great is we can actually align that with our apprenticeship, and then the employees are actually having a recognised qualification alongside the training that you guys are offering within the business. Benefits here, so it's, as I said, this person would be coaching other people. They've got to be coaching at least sort of 3 members of staff. Ultimately, it's going to help boost performance, productivity, because they're going to be sort of acting as that coach and that mentor to hopefully then get the team performing in their role more effectively. It's because of that, it's fostering that collaboration within teams, sharing good practice, what are people doing, and then that can obviously help them perform better in their role. Increases employee engagement and retention, because obviously they feel like they've been invested in, and also other team members are not just kind of being left to kind of figure things out by themselves. They've got that person, that coach to go to and to help and support them, to aid them in their development within their role. It's obviously building that, as Ashley mentioned, that sustainable way of internal development, building, with and developing within. So it is cost effective like that. And also if a company is going through any sort of change as well, or anything, again, they've got that person to kind of go to as that coach, that mentor, to just further support them. And that person is obviously acting, as that senior member of staff for that organisation to align with what the company is driving towards and growing towards. So it is, as I said, aligns with that professional growth and company values as well. And they'll have that recognised ILM level 5 certificate, which is great as well. Finally, the last apprenticeship programme that we will talk about, which is our Operations Manager Level 5 programme. As I said, this is a more strategic level, so it would be somebody which no doubt Ashley might even go into if he's looking after different teams. So if that person is managing teams within the company, this programme would be ideal for them, rather than just kind of like a couple of individuals. You're implementing strategic initiatives, you're innovating new processes, new systems to hopefully maximise the company's efficiency, to make it thrive, make it grow. So it's a great tool, great qualification for people to have the tools to know what to do with those skills. And again, like the level 3, they have that CMI level 5 award in management and leadership accreditation alongside their apprenticeship, which is absolutely fantastic as well. It's a slightly longer programme, so it's 20 months, again blended. There is a project involved in this as well, so they learn all about project management, you know, especially it might even be one that Ashley could even progress on to if he's doing more projects, you know, that's helping with the company's efficiency. It'd be a great one too. You've got the funding value, and then you've got obviously the awarding body organisation there. And essentially this programme, you know, does lead people into more senior management and senior leadership roles as well. So once they've done this qualification, they can then grow into any company and any organisation in that senior setting. They are learning, like I said, with this qualification, it is more of a strategic look. You've got the strategic analysis, you're looking at different decision making, different project management tools, different IT tools, your financial management techniques. So it's looking at all of those different systems and processes to make sure that the company is functioning efficient. Again, it's all them soft skills like problem solving, emotional intelligence, looking at obviously what the company needs to do for compliance, and they will learn about different leadership models and different people and performance and stakeholder management as well. So, you know, it is very much a very widespread look at the business as a whole. So definitely for somebody who has at least done their team leading 3, or at least looking after teams within people on a more higher level, regional or operational or even director level as well. Benefits of this, you know, as I said, with this, it's adding that strategic value for people to be sort of promoted within, to help the business grow, to help thrive, makes more strong, capable leaders, to drive that productivity and efficiency, improve staff retention, as we've said earlier. If people feel invested in, there's a more positive culture, more higher morale. You know, people want to stay if they feel invested in. Ashley's got, you know, lots happening at DPD, which is fantastic. So he feels, you know, very invested in there, and with a very supportive line manager and employer. And yeah, supports that business through growth, change. They have that recognised qualification. You know, Ashley also mentioned it's boosted his confidence within his role as well. And that kind of brings us all back to the statistics that we looked at earlier within the presentation, that, you know, I think it was 93% of our learners, you know, say that it's really boosted their confidence whilst doing any one of our management and leadership qualifications. And the impact is that they're learning whilst they're on the job, and they can apply lots of different skills and techniques to gaining this qualification. Just echoing on what Ashley has said, which is great. Fantastic. So that is kind of all of our apprenticeship programs that we offer to aid middle management. If anybody is obviously interested in finding out a little bit more about each one, please reach out to, you know, either myself or any one of our partnership managers. We will go through the program, give you the resources, and as I've said, we can help plan. If you are a levy organisation, can help you plan and prioritise the people that you'd want training. Say if you've got people that are like Ashley within your organisation, you think actually might benefit from doing this apprenticeship to help guide other staff members to develop within their roles, we can help and support you with that. I am just going to put in the chat whilst I talk about tools to develop staff. There's a great a guide that obviously we've done at LMP to sort of say, you know, the power of these apprenticeships. Basically, it just kind of helps you see what there is out there, what you can use via your levy or via the government if you are obviously a small SME organisation as well. And you know, we can see you may not even have a big pot sitting in your levy, so we can again just kind of look at that, what you've got in the levy, to sort of again say, right, this is actually what you can use without sort of, you know, being in the minus, as it were, with still being other larger who we work with to help levy gift you that money as well. And obviously you do not need to pay that back. They obviously have just a bigger pot in there, and rather than that going back to government, they would rather obviously invest it to help support other smaller businesses to enable their staff and their company to grow and thrive as well. So yeah, please have a little look at that. That would be great. Key updates, what is to come? So very exciting. So AI is taking over everywhere at the moment, isn't it? And no doubt it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So what is coming soon that LMP are offering, which we are really excited about, is the new AI and automation specialist level 4 apprenticeship. So this is great if you have obviously that IT department, or if somebody in your company is very techie savvy and obviously wants to help support other people in the business to make the use of AI to help the business ultimately perform more productively, more efficiently through the use of AI, and to help obviously educate other staff members to utilise it. That is a great apprenticeship for them to do. So yeah, watch this space as to when it's coming. Keep a lookout. If any of you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll no doubt see when that is coming soon to LMP. So changes in April. There are a few changes in April happening that are on the cusp of happening. So apprenticeship levy changes. So obviously, if you pay into the levy at the moment, you have a 24-month expiry. That's when you know that that's when your funds expire. However, that is looking to reduce to 12 months. So I would definitely strongly advise to not hang around. If you have a large pot in your levy, have a little look now, speak to us. We can help support you and help plan, you know, your strategy going forward for your people management. Yeah, I would just sort of, look at it now rather than waiting. We don't want that to be gone. And if you are unsure as to when, how much is in your pot, or when you know it expires, if you log on to your Apprenticeship DAS portal, it should say on there expired funds. So it should sort of say on there. But again, if anybody is unsure how to navigate around the digital apprenticeship service, please reach out to one of our partnership managers or myself, and we can support you with that. There is also the removal of the 10% top up as well that was in place. But for positive, for obviously SMEs that we have on the webinar today, funding is actually increasing for under 25. So it was only up to 18, then they increased it to 21, and now they're increasing it to 24, which is fantastic. So you might have some people that are, say, 24 that are looking at doing team leading apprenticeship. I know myself, I've enrolled individuals that are definitely 24, 23 onto team leading programs just because they've been with the business for so long. So take full advantage of that, absolutely, but it is completely fully funded for 24s and under, which is great. Co-investment split, so at the moment it is a 95 by the government and a 5% co-investment with us. And again, there was talks of that changing to 75 to 25 co-investment split. So again, I would take full advantage now, whilst the rule is a 5% co-investment, to speak with us and not having that cost increased for you. So definitely have a little look and plan now, and we can obviously help you, so you're not obviously paying that 25% split. Next page. Just obviously to give you a bit of an overview of all the apprenticeships that we offer here. As I said, we don't just do a one-stop shop. We don't just do team leading, okay, off you go. We do lots of different other apprenticeships to help that individual and that organisation grow and thrive. So there are lots of different apprenticeships available to people as their role progresses as well. So very exciting. So as we just come to an end, I've just got the last couple of slides, and then I'm just going to go on to the chat to see if you've got any questions in there. But what's really exciting is that we are hosting for the first time our Apprenticeship Awards. Ashley's actually been nominated for an award. So Ashley, you're going to have to tune in on Thursday, 4 till 4:45 to see if you've won. You never know, you could be a winner from your employer. But yeah, it's just been great to do this for our employees, for our employers and our learners to just share their successes. Really, we've got a different awards across, most improved apprentice to best in the programme area to best champion of the year to best achievement rate apprentice or employer. So there's lots of different awards. So it'd be great if you can tune in, see what that's like, and then obviously next year you may have somebody that's on a programme and you've nominated them and they're sitting on the award. So great opportunity to see what that's about. I think it's a very popular one. We've got about nearly 100 people registered for it at the moment. So just click on the QR code and register your space to celebrate the successes, which is great. And then finally, we have got some, as I said, it's National Apprenticeship Week, if you've not heard already. We've got other webinars happening this week as well. 2 have been done already. Like I say, we've got others happening across the space of the week. For those that are on, obviously, I know it's going to be businesses. So what I strongly would say is I would definitely say Friday's webinar would be really relevant to you guys, how to utilise the apprenticeship levy to reduce recruitment costs. So great one to register for. You will get a lot of insight because apprenticeships are not only to help upskill existing staff, but it actually is also to support recruitment of new talent as well. So, if you've got somebody that actually you want somebody for a business admin function or, anything like that, really, we can obviously help support with that as well. So a great one to just kind of log on to rather than say going to an external recruitment agency, come to training provider. We offer a free recruitment service and they will obviously support you with finding that person. So that is the end of the webinar today. I'm just going to see if we've got any questions. Bear with me. I hope you've all found it really useful. Can't see the questions at the moment. Let me just have a little look here. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay, so we've got here, how do I apply? So in terms of how do you apply, you can literally just kind of on our website, you can book in an appointment with one of our partnership managers, or I think there is actually a link to apply on our website, apply now for something, register your interest for something, and it will no doubt go through to one of our partnership managers, and they will obviously help you. If you aren't in a role but you're looking, we obviously have a recruitment team as well. But yeah, if you just obviously send in a initial expression of interest, and it will pop through to one of our partnership managers, and they will help and go through all that information, advice and guidance for you to make sure you're on the right programme for your role. We've got here, please can you repeat the information on the apprenticeship levy and the gift? So in terms of levy gifting, so yeah, if you are an SME and you can't afford that 5% co-investment fee, do not panic. We do work with lots of larger organisations, local authorities that we can reach out to see if they can actually levy gift you the money and you don't pay it back. They just obviously have that large sum of money there to give to you, basically to help support growth in your organisation. So yeah, booking a call with one of us. There's the QR code, and we will obviously help and support you with what needs you need for your business, and we will reach out to our larger organisations to help support you with that. Start date for level 3. So what the benefits of our programs is that it is a roll on, roll off. So there is no no sort of official start date. It's just you can start whenever is best for you. So we literally can roll on, roll off whenever you want to start that fits best with you as well. We've got another question here. So does it affect my contract? It won't affect your contract if you are, obviously, it's a big myth, isn't it, that apprenticeships are just for, 16 to 18-year-olds and they're going to be on £7.55 an hour and someone is in their 40s and got a mortgage and kids and everything else to pay for. No, you literally are, your contract of employment stays exactly the same. But you have a separate apprenticeship contract where it's just making sure that you've got the time with your employer and that you're completing your work, you're completing your off-the-job training hours, basically, and you've got that support there to do that at work. So nothing changes there. It's also got here, if I'm part-time or if you've got part-time members of staff. If you're part-time, do not worry about it either. We say to meet standard length on programme, they have to be employed for 30 hours a week. But if, say, you are employed for 16 hours, that's absolutely fine. That's the minimum for anybody to be on an apprenticeship. However, what you do have to be mindful of is that the duration will extend. So if you're only employed for 16 hours a week, your duration won't be 18 months, it will be pro rata to whatever that is. So it's just being mindful of that, really. In terms of logging your off the job hours as well, it is still set at logging your 6 hours a week. But yeah, just be mindful that duration will extend there. For small SMEs that want to register their staff, please, what is the criteria for eligibility? So eligibility really is just making sure that you are, that they've been a resident of the UK for over 3 years. They are in a suitable role and they haven't got any prior learning that's higher. So say if someone is going on their team leading level 3, but actually they have got a degree in business management, that would obviously impact their eligibility because they've essentially got all the learning already. If they have done a degree, in, say, art and design, that's absolutely fine to do your level 3 because it's completely on a different subject level. So eligibility is just making sure they've been a resident of the UK for over 3 years and they've not got subject knowledge of a higher qualification in the apprenticeship that they are applying for. If for any reason I will need to leave my job, what will happen? So if you need to leave your job, or say if someone goes on maternity leave or something, do not worry, we can put your learning on hold. However, if we are sort of signing you up and you're, not quite happy in the job that you're in, we may want to obviously question that. Why do you want to obviously do a qualification if you're thinking of leaving your employer? Because, you may not go into the same job role as what you were in before. So as long as, you're happy in your current role, but say if you need to leave for, say if something happens, you've had an accident and you can't work, you're on maternity leave or paternity leave, and we need to put your learning on hold, we can pause it and then restart it when you come back into work. We have a period of time to work with you as well if you do lose your job. Say if your contract gets terminated for whatever reason, we have 4 weeks to work with you. If you've been made redundant, we have 12 weeks to work with you as well. So just to be mindful of that as well. Can you pause training path? So yes, I think I've just obviously mentioned about maternity leave there for you. Must have been recommended by my employer before I enroll. I would always say definitely have your employer support, because as an employer, they will obviously need to make sure they've got protected hours set aside for you to do your programme. And also they are going to be using either their levy pot, or they're going to be spending that 5% co-investment fee. So we do need the employer to be supportive and on side from day one, doing your apprenticeship as well as yourself progressing there. I hope that makes sense. Do your tutors visit learners at their workplace, one-to-one tutoring when required? Yes, so it is one-to-one. tutors, so it is predominantly over Teams. We can incorporate a bit of face-to-face. You do not need to go off-site, so everything is done at the workplace. You don't go anywhere to college or anything like that. Everything is done at the workplace. We either come out to you, as we've done with Ashley, we've come out to him to work on a project with him, or the rest is done over Teams, one-to-one. Or if in your workplace it actually benefits doing a group session, say if you've got a group of 10 on your team leading, and actually you want a group session, you know, so everybody can bounce ideas off each other and share good practice. Again, we can sort of tailor that delivery model to suit the organisation as well. But yeah, the idea is that it's a bit of a mixture of one-to-one and face-to-face or group, and you do not need to go off-site anywhere. Can someone on a post-study visa benefit from this programme? So with visas, like I say, we just need to make sure that you have got residency for the duration of the programme. That's a key thing that we need to do in terms of eligibility there. And yeah, depends on your job role as well, and again your prior learning as well. So we just need to make sure that the visa is actually in line with the time of the duration as well, because yeah, we just need to obviously safeguard that as well to make sure that you're on programme and that you're here for all of it, if that makes any sense. How would someone who got an overseas certificate experience in teaching wishes to get teaching in the UK? So teaching, definitely what I would advise if you're looking at teaching, there is our webinar tomorrow, I believe, so that one will be really, really useful for you to hop onto, and they can answer all questions. But again, we need to see what learning that is, what qualification that is, to make sure that you're eligible for a qualification over here. And again, we need to look at that visa, right to work, expiry date, and such there, if that makes any sense, just to make sure that you're eligible to come onto programme. Oh, I've missed this one. I'm a civil engineer, masters in project management, Prince 2 practitioner, seasoned project manager, having more 15 years experience working as a project manager in construction, company in Glasgow. My qualification. So with these qualifications, it is obviously only for England that the apprenticeships are fully funded with. So if you are Ireland, Wales, Scotland, they are different funding rules there. Ours are obviously just based in England, companies in England basically, in terms of eligibility there. And if obviously you've done a Prince 2 project management qualification, I think that would definitely anyway impact on your eligibility, because again, you've got the knowledge of a project management qualification. Yeah, unless your role is going to be obviously more strategic, you could look at the operations manager level 5. But again, because it's Scotland based, it's different funding rules to England. I hope that has answered all your questions there in the box. Like I said, have a little look on that document there that I've just put in the chat. But yeah, I hope you found that useful. Have a little look at the other webinars that we've got going on this week. And yeah, just to close off, thank you Ashley for coming on, and hope everyone has a really good rest of the week, and happy National Apprenticeship Week, everybody.